In this video, I will teach you how to animate frame by frame and accelerate and decelerate movement. But before we begin, I would like to mention that this video is part of our SkillShare class, where I will teach you how to animate a liquid blob effect frame by frame. If you're interested in taking this class, check out the link in the description below and get a 14-day free trial of SkillShare. Now, let's continue with the video.
Now, you may be wondering, like, where should we put the next circle? Is it here, that is too close to the previous circle, or a bit farther apart, right? And once we have decided that, and we click F7 to go to the next frame, the one after this, you may be wondering, should I place it here? Is it here? Or here, right? Like, what's the space between the last frame, right? How much space would we give it to? So to answer that question, I would like to introduce to you the concept of accelerating, maintaining speed, and decelerating. So in the real world, so let's just say we're driving a car. So we're gonna use the car as an analogy. Currently, it's on full stop, and then we hit the gas and we're gonna move forward, or we're gonna start running the car, and the car won't go to top speed immediately. It's not an abrupt change, right? It's slowly going to pick up speed, and once you have reached the speed that you want, you will maintain the speed. And if you hit the brakes, the car would not abruptly stop, right? It's just impossible to stop at that point. The car will gradually decrease speed until it comes to a full stop. So in animation, we could also apply that. We could apply the concept of accelerating, maintaining speed, and decelerating when we are going to stop the animation. So let's try that out. Okay, for this, we're still gonna use this guide, and we're gonna use the acceleration, deceleration concept. So we first start here. So that's our first frame, okay? And then we go to the next frame and hit F7. So I have my onion skin set, so that's good. Now for the next frame, since we don't have anything else to base this to, it's up to you what is the starting speed. You can put it here if you want. But if we're going to apply the acceleration concept, it shouldn't be that farther to the original position. So it would just be somewhere, maybe somewhere here. So that would be our second frame. And now I'm going to move forward and hit F7. So I have that. And what I'm going to do, because we need to see two frames before it, two drawings before it, not just one drawing. So currently, what we could see is the drawing before our current frame. So the frame that we are currently in, it's a blank frame. And with the onion skin, we could see the frame before that. But we need to see two drawings. So I'm just going to do that. What I did is this blue color here, that's the previous frame that I'm going to see. I'm just going to extend it so that I would be able to see both drawings. So this both drawings. So using the acceleration concept, just keep in mind that if you are accelerating, you will double the spacing. So the spacing between these two, you double that. So that would be our acceleration. So currently, this is the distance, right? So if we're gonna double that, so multiplied or just estimate it. Doesn't have to be the complete the correct calculation or measure it. So I'm just doubling the length, and this one, that's what I'm going to add next. So my next circle would be here. Okay, so let me just delete that, and let's just draw the circle. So I'm just gonna estimate, right? I'm going to accelerate, so I'm gonna double the spacing, the distance. So it's going to be somewhere here. And now I'm gonna move forward in time. I'm gonna click F7 so I could see both of them. Now let's see, we're still far from the destination, right? So we could still accelerate. Now to accelerate, we're gonna double. So this is now the distance. We're just gonna double that. We're gonna double that. And that's what we're gonna add to this, the spacing. Okay, so we're gonna put the next frame or the next circle around here because it's going to be double here. I think that's just too much. Let me move that backward. I think the double is right here. So it doesn't have to be exact. You don't have to like have a ruler and measure everything. That is not required. So I'm gonna move here, next frame, and click F7. Now let us see. We're still far from the destination, so we could still accelerate. So I'm gonna double this distance. So it now would be somewhere around here. And then I'm gonna, let's proceed to the next frame, hit F7 and take a look. What we could do, we could accelerate this again. If we double this, right? If we double that, it would be somewhere around here, right? So the next frame would be here. But we're too close. If we do that, we're already going to be too close to the destination, and we still need to break, right? And if we're gonna like slowly decelerate this, we're gonna go off of the guide. So what I'm going to do is I'm not gonna accelerate anymore. I'm just gonna maintain speed. So in order to maintain speed, we just copy. So we're not gonna add anymore. We're just gonna copy the previous distance. So this is the previous distance. We're just gonna use that. So we're just going to maintain speed. So roughly it's going to be somewhere here. Okay, now we're gonna move forward. I'm gonna hit F7. Now we are almost nearing the end. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna decelerate. So in order to decelerate, decelerating is the opposite of accelerating. So if in accelerating we double the distance, in decelerating we divide the distance into two. So what that means, if this is our previous distance, we're just gonna cut this to half. And this is going to be that. So our circle would be around here, right? We are already decelerating. So let me just undo that. So to decelerate this, we divide this by 2. So that would be around here, I think. And move forward, skip a frame, and here, click F7. Now again, we're still not at the end. We're still going to decelerate. So to decelerate, we divide the previous spacing or distance by 2. So if this is the previous distance, we divide it by 2. So it would be around here. So we're just going to cut that into half. And then next frame, again, we're going to decelerate until we come at a full stop. So it would be around here. Hit F7. I think we could still decelerate this further. So as you can see, if you could already visualize this, right? That it's slowly coming to a stop. So I think this would be our full stop frame. Now let's take a look at what we have done. So click enter. So as you can see, it has a better animation than what we did before. Because here we applied the accelerating, maintaining speed, and decelerating concept. So that's what we did before. This is what we did now, using the acceleration, deceleration concept. And this is what we did before. This is just free flowing. See, it doesn't have any, it's not speeding up or slowing down. So it's just like that. So this one has a better animation. Now, one thing to note though, that I'll just show you. It's much better to explain if I just show you. For example, I create a new layer, and I'm just going to hide this. Try to avoid mixing acceleration and deceleration. It's like accelerating, decelerating, accelerating, decelerating, because the equivalent of that is, think of it like, you're in the passenger seat, and the driver is hitting the gas and the brake simultaneously, right? It's like stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, and you would probably thinking, oh, this is a very terrible driver, right? So the car is going to stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, and we don't want that in our animation too. So let me show you what that looks like. So for example, this is our first frame, and then our next frame. So again, since this is the next frame, we don't have a speed to base it on, right? So this would completely depend on you. So for example, I'm just gonna do this, right? And for the next frame, I'm gonna accelerate. So I'm gonna double that. It would be somewhere here. And for the next frame, for example, I'm going to decelerate. So I'm gonna divide that by 2, right? And for the next frame, I'm going to decelerate. And next frame, I'm going to accelerate. And next frame, I'm going to accelerate. And next frame, I'm going to decelerate. And the next frame, I'm going to accelerate. So see how this one would look like. It's not going to have that coherent flow, right? It's like it's stopping here at the middle. So so that you know when to use acceleration or deceleration, just think of it like this. If this is your starting point and this is your end point, so here you're going to begin accelerating. Accelerate, 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 and probably here you're going to maintain speed. And once you're nearing the end and you want to stop, you decelerate, decelerate, decelerate until you come to a full stop.